Cheers, I do buckaroos. How the heck are you? I am Tom the Whiskey Whisperer. I'm Tom the Beer Whisperer. But I'm having some wine with you. Or I'm actually having some mead with you, to be honest. Picked this up at Seven Seas Winery, but they also have a few meads out there. We picked up the Clover mead, a sweet mead made from honey. And they said they make their mead in the traditional way. So, I don't know if it has a. It's a 10.4%, it says. My wife and I went up there last weekend and picked up a few things. They were very friendly, nice couple that owns the place. The family operation. They have a free sampling where you can sample 6 of their wines for free, and that's a pretty good deal. Or for $5, you can sample everything on the page, which is, I don't know, 12 or so. But you also get to keep the glass. So, well, we both did that so we could have the glass. And then my wife had a discount. So we ended up buying 6 bottles, but we got a pretty good discount on them. So they had 3 meads. This is the one we picked up. There's another one I think I'll pick up next time, but I just got this one this time. Trying to get kind of a sampling of their stuff, you know. I got a couple reds, couple whites, a bottle of mead. It's about, 45 minutes out of Springfield. But it's a nice little drive. Kind of takes you off the beaten path a little bit. But like I said, they're really nice folks. Very friendly. He said something very similar to what a lot of you have heard me say, that there's certain a beer, as a beer guy, certain hops will impart certain aromas and flavors, and there are certain beer guys will tell you, well, these are the notes you're going to get. You're going to get this, that, or the other. And I've always said, well, I mean, if you don't eat mango, you're never going to interpret mango. Your mind is going to interpret it as something else. And he said, I don't like to put tasting notes down, because everybody tastes things a little bit different. And he mentioned use currants as an example. He said some will get currants from this, some don't. But I don't put currants down because not everybody knows what that is. And I've said something very similar in my beer videos. It's a nice aroma, a little earthy, a little herbal. Almost like a little honeysuckle-like note. A little grassy, maybe. Honey. So yeah, it's a little sweet. But I've had sweeter mead, so it's not incredibly sweet. My shirt keeps wanting to ride up on me there. I'm not wearing any pants, so I'm trying to keep the shirt down. I'm not wearing pants, man. I mean, I've got some boxer briefs on. I'm not freeballing it or anything, but yeah, I'm trying to keep everything hid. My daughter actually made this shirt for me, so I kind of want to put it on. It's my relaxing shirt. My wife and I went out on a Friday night last night, which is something we don't do often, and we stayed out very late, which is something we don't do almost every. Yeah. Yeah, a great band out of Kansas City. The Popsicle Rebels were in town, and they were paired with local legends, the Domino Kings. So it was just a great night of rockabilly fun, man. Came back with a lot of hardware too. A few discs. Let me grab those here if I can, without dropping everything. My cats do not want to give me any room today. I just fed them. They usually leave me alone after I feed them, but no, they're on top of me. So this is the latest disc from the Popsicle Rebels. Highway Vaquero. Man, it's great stuff. I love this whole disc. It's awesome. But yeah, you can find them on whatever streaming service you have. I listen to them on Spotify, but being an old guy, I kind of like to have hard copies. So, and I also picked up some discs from the Domino Kings. It's an older disc, as you can see, and then there's another disc from the Domino Kings, And then one of the members of the Domino Kings had a disc too, Stevie Newman, Just Songs. This thing is insane. This is a great disc, man. But you can also find it on Spotify. So please look up these artists, man. It's tough for artists to make money, you know, at any time. But 2020 and post 2020 has been very difficult for a lot of artists. It's been very difficult for clubs as well. So yeah, check out if you can find this disc. I'm telling you, you will not be disappointed. This disc is awesome. Anyways, I just wanted to share that with you. Now I'll focus back on this Mead for a second. You guys all know me. I get a little drifty. You get a little drifty, Tom. You don't focus, man. Anyways. Again, the Seven Seas is just a great place if you're ever passing through this area. Most of I've got a lot of beer friends, a lot of whiskey friends. Not a whole lot of wine friends, but man, don't be afraid to try something different. If because typically if I'm in an area for breweries and I find a winery, it's always nice to visit just to see. My wife and I had our anniversary trip last month. There was actually one brewery right there in the same parking lot we were at one of the wineries in, but we just didn't do any breweries at all this last time because I'd been to Public House several times, so it wasn't a moral imperative to stop. We just hit 5 wineries, and that was a lot of fun. And then last weekend we hit 2. We hit Tyler Ridge on their last weekend open this season. They'll open back up May of next year, and I really enjoyed them. Seven Seas was a lot of fun too, and I know during the summer they get a lot of bands playing out there. So neither place serves food, but they both encourage you to bring food in. You can bring food. The only thing you can't bring in is other alcohol. And I think both will let you bring in soft drinks, but I'm not 100% sure. But I believe both will. But both will allow you to bring food. Just you can't. Again, that's kind of a law too, as well. You can't bring in outside alcohol, which kind of makes sense. Stuff is very nice, man. Back in May, we visited a couple wineries. One of them happened to have some meads, but they were so terrible. They tasted like they taste like they were infected. In all honesty, but these guys are good. They do a very nice traditional mead. They had one that I think they called it Dragon's Breath. If I'm not mistaken, I don't remember. I don't have my tasting notes, but anyway, it was a little smoky. Yeah, kind of had that Renaissance fair kind of vibe. Anyways, but it was pretty good. But I didn't want to buy that yet because I was buying a lot of other stuff. Probably next trip. I wanted to save some stuff to buy next trip. That'd be a good one to have over Christmas, though. So we might visit them one more time before we get knee deep into the holidays. But because we were out so late last night, I started telling that story. Then I got sidetracked on something else. But we were out till about midnight. Then we went out and got us something to eat. So I think it was probably about 1 o'clock when we got home. Stayed up to about 2. We don't ever do that. We're usually in bed by 9, even on the weekends, man. I don't know what the hell we were thinking. But it was a lot of fun. We got to talk to all the band members, It was a hoot, man. So today again, I went a long way around the barn. Tell you, that's why I'm in my comfy shirt. We're staying home today. I got out briefly just a little bit ago because I didn't have bacon for tomorrow morning's breakfast. I gotta have some breakfast, man. So we picked up a couple other things. Do a little charcuterie board later. Picked up a couple summer sausages from Shirkman's Meats here in town. I'd rather pay a little more to get a good product than to buy, the usual suspects at the grocery store because that stuff is just awful. Hillshire Farms, Johnsonville, stuff sucks. It's greasy, but then there's summer sausage over there. So I got the traditionals, the regular summer sausage. But they had an apple blue cheese I wanted to try, so I'm looking forward to giving that one a whirl too. And also picked up some Black Forest ham. Picked up some pastrami as well, but the pastrami is not necessarily for the charcuterie board. My wife picked up some good rye yesterday, so the pastrami is for a sandwich, man. That's for a sandwich, baby. Anyway, anyway, pastrami's for a sandwich, man. Oh, gosh, that's nice. That's nice. Yeah, they had three. We got one bottle. Wife picked this one out. I think it was the sweeter of the three. Eddie, these guys have lived together for 15 years and they still have a white hot hate. Shadow got a little closer to Eddie than Eddie thought she ought to be, and Eddie hissed and popped her. Or I don't know if she actually got her this time, but she usually just pops her on the noggin. And I'm not even sure why Eddie's over here other than to just irritate Shadow in the first place. And I thought, because usually after I feed him, Eddie goes up on her pillow over by my wife and nods out. But apparently, we were gone all day yesterday, so I worked. I usually have Fridays off. I ended up working, and then we went out. So I think they're both letting us know that they're not happy about the situation. Shadow, I had to, like I said, I had to get up briefly and go to the store, but Shadow has been on me the second I got out of bed this morning. She has stayed right on me. They've become very codependent cats. Anyway, at Seven Seas Winery, let me show you this bottle one more time. Again, I do recommend the place highly. Not that I'm a wine expert by any means, but I love the operation. The people that own it are very friendly. They're very kind. They're very courteous, and they make a nice product. So I do recommend them if you're ever in my neck of the woods or near my neck of the woods. Like I said, it's about 45 minutes out of Springfield. So if you're ever passing through, look up Seven Seas Winery. During the season, look up Tyler Ridge too. That's certainly it's a very nice space. Again, very friendly tasting as well. They don't have the free glasses, but they do have a free tasting there. They're very generous over there at Tyler Ridge as well. And I bought a couple wines, but they didn't really do the sweeter wines like my wife likes. But I did pick up a couple that I really enjoyed. And then, we picked up a couple from Prairie Barn, a couple from Belmont. We drank most of our St. James because we could buy St. James locally. But I'm hesitant to drink some of that other stuff because I don't know when I'm going to get back in that neck of the woods to get more. And the same thing with the Tyler Ridge now, even though Tyler Ridge Winery is only about 25 minutes. I know I've got to wait till May to get it, so I will probably burn through it during the holidays. But I'm really trying to hang on to it until Thanksgiving week anyway. That's when I'll probably try to go through most of our wines during that time I've got off that Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Anyways, I am Tom. I'm not going to use my usual spiel. I'll just skip to the end and say all around good guy. Cilantro.